the biggest game this Saturday, and that is going to be Ohio State traveling to Notre Dame. And I think this is a very good time to talk about September games and what we're actually looking for, because one of the things that we love to say in our sport is ain't played nobody. Soft schedule, cupcake schedule. This is how we say 3-0 in college football. It is a sport defined by perfection, unlike baseball, which is defined by failure. Being perfect, chasing perfection, that's what we're after here. But it's also about who is going to assert themselves at a time when we're looking for who's the best team in college football. Quite literally, everybody is suspect right now. Georgia was down 14-3, South Carolina at home. Michigan looked like boo-boo for a time against Bowling Green. And now we finally get some moving and shaking among teams that we all think are pretty good. And the reason that we're starting with Ohio State and Notre Dame is because, frankly, those are two teams that we could both see in the college football playoff, and it would surprise nobody right now. Also, depending on how this game goes, would we be willing to see Notre Dame and Ohio State play again? Really, there's a lot going on this. So one way or another, somebody's going to be upset and crowing in their neighbor's face come Sunday, because we got the Deloitte debutantes, and we got, the blue-collar folks from the Rust Belt. I got skin in this game, or melanin, if you will, because I used to turn wrenches at Pep Boys down the road to get through school. I was not going to wear a white collar to work, or at least that's what I thought, and then I got this job. And now I got to remind everybody that I got scars on my knuckles from what I used to be. But so does Notre Dame. Like, nobody knows better than Notre Dame fans how long it's been since they won a national championship, and even that one is disputed. Okay? Let alone won a New Year's Six bowl game. This is an opportunity. This is a golden, if you will, opportunity to welcome a team to town that has lost single-digit games with Ryan Day as its head coach, and won 45, 46, 47 in there. I think we're approaching 48 wins for Ryan Day since he became the head coach at the Ohio State. And they get one back from last year when it looked like they were keeping pace with Ohio State. They just lacked a quarterback. Guess what they got now? A quarterback. Sam Hartman walked into Notre Dame as the best quarterback to ever play in a Golden Domer helmet, because he's just been that good. Like, before last week, he was already 10th all-time in passing TDs across NCAA and ACC record for passing TDs in a career. And then on the other side, you got Kyle McCord, who gets an opportunity to show everybody that he really is QB1 as opposed to the best of the rest, right? A la Alabama, which we'll get to in a little bit. But Kyle McCord has Trey Henderson. He's also got the best receiving group north of the Mason-Dixon line, led by the Martian, Marvin Harrison Jr., whom he played with at St. Joe's Prep in Philly. This is the time for folks to actually begin to see that kind of connection take place, right? Because we're talking about Julian Fleming being the guy that people forgot about. Brandon Ennis is still over there. Maya Williams is still over there for that matter, too. They get that run game going. It's about which secondary is going to hold up here. And this is where I think it gets interesting, because you got Styles brothers, both at Ohio State now. Lorenzo Styles was at Notre Dame last year. I have a theory, maybe producer Tyler has another, in which Lorenzo Styles showed up to Jim Knowles' office and emptied his Notre Dame book bag. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm very interested to see which one of these secondaries actually holds up, because I think that's who's going to win the game. If I'm looking and I want to feel good, I can say what Ohio State did against a Hilltoppers offense that was putting up 40 and 50 points a game should be taking a harbinger of things to come. They had 2 defensive touchdowns in that game. They were able to get interceptions. They were able to stop that offense from moving. I think Jim Knowles going into this year finally has this thing clicking. His cornerbacks and safeties look like they want to jump routes as opposed to make tackles. And I love hearing that, seeing that. But that Notre Dame offense can go blow for blow. So if we get into a shootout, yeah, the home team has a really great way of winning that game, because it's going to get loud at Notre Dame Stadium if Ohio State is down, say, 5 and needs to get 6 and is on the other side of the 50-yard line needing to march down, where it's just probably going to get quiet right before the snap when Sam Hartman needs to go about doing the damn thing. And frankly, he might. They scored 21 unanswered against North Carolina State, which is the best team they played all year. But, I got my reservations about what they're going to do once everybody knows they got to pass the ball. Now, if Audric Estime goes for 150, good night, Ohio State, right? That can't happen. You got to be able to contain the run game. I'm also looking at an Indy that beat Central Michigan by the same score scoring margin that Michigan State beat Central Michigan by. And Michigan State wasn't very good to begin with. And Central Michigan is, well, Central Michigan. I wanted to see a little bit larger margin there, but, a win is a win is a win, so they tell me. Also, shout out to Ramon Henderson, because I just remembered that he playing safety at Notre Dame, and that's Tanisha's godson. Tanisha used to lock your boy's hair up right here in Tulsa. I'm sure she's going crazy. She was down there on his official visit. I forgot about this 3 years ago. But if he makes a play, I'm going to get loud about that too. For our purposes, this is going to impact my rankings. This is going to impact the Associated Press rankings. And frankly, it's going to impact college football playoff rankings down the road. We're going to look back at this game and draw all sorts of conclusions. We're going to say that Notre Dame is really good if they beat Ohio State, or we're going to say Ohio State is back to being Ohio State if they beat Notre Dame. A lot riding on this one. I think I'm going to put I think I already have Ohio State as the number 3 team in the country, right? I think Notre Dame would have to go somewhere near there if they get this win on Saturday. So we'll be watching that one. I'm picking Ohio State to win this game because I just think that the secondary is better at Ohio State than it is at Notre Dame. Feel free to make a fool out of me, Ramon, right? Feel free to make a fool out of me, Marcus. It's fine. I'm all right with that. But right now, I think Ohio State is a complete football team with playmakers all over the field. So again, Notre Dame getting a win there be a really big deal for me, not just for Notre Dame fans. Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.